look at here, Doc. What time is it, Doc? What time is it?
Hey, it's trip talk time.
That's what's up, man. You know what time it is, folks. 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, 5 p.m. on that Pacific West Coast. It's trip talk time. And look, Doc, what were we sporting?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Trip talk.
Man, I got to send a shout out to my man, DJ FX, man. Hey, DJ FX, this for you, my brother. I told you we were going to represent you. We representing for your creative customs, man. So, folks, make sure you go check him out, DJ FX. If you want any of your gear made, if you want to start a line, man, hit him up. He got you. He got us blinging out, looking good up here, man. We appreciate the support. So tonight, broadcast is brought to you by my man, DJ FX and Creative Customs, man. So make sure you go check him out. All right, Doc, we got people coming in. Welcome, everybody. We got a great one lined up for you. We're going to start out tonight with our guy, Bolo. How you doing, Bolo? It's always great to see you coming in tonight, man. We definitely got to get you on the show, my guy. We got B-More. B-More's coming in. Welcome, B-More. B-More Bookman. All right. Justice, how you doing? Justice, Wonder Woman. Motor Woman. I'm sorry, Motor Woman. Let me get my glasses on, man. Get my glasses on. Y'all just don't I just don't know. The struggle is real. Howdy, what's going on, Mr. D Joyner, man? Mr. Dennis Joyner, my right hand man. So listen, Doc. You say, hey, Solo. I found another one, man. Creative Views. That's right, Creative Views. My bad, I said Creative Custom, but it's Creative Views. Creative Views Z25, man. Make sure you go check them out. Listen, Doc, you came and said, Solo, I got a great one for you, man. I said, Doc, let's do it. Let's do it. So without further ado, Doc, I'm going to turn it over to you, man.
All right. Well, I just appreciate you. You asked me what the definition of this show was. What's the mission?
Right.
The mission is to bring upon unsung writers, bring them to the light, let their stories be told, especially when I see someone while I'm out here moving across the country that people never heard of, that they may not have social media, but they're out here pounding and being a legend within themselves. And so
that's right now.
This is what I saw in Stormy when I met her from day one.
Right. And I say this, man, aspire to inspire, be legendary. You are a legend. You know what I'm saying? You in your mind, in your own mind, you should be legendary. That's Nobody needs to call you a legend, man. You should be legendary in your mind. Like I say, man, if your ride is 1,000 miles, 1,500 miles, 20,000 miles on a year, that's great. That's what it takes for you to be happy where you are. Don't try to sit there and go outside of your comfort zone to try to prove a point to anybody. Because I always say, man, people out here, man, don't go out there and die a senseless death trying to impress somebody else. That in the end, man, it really don't even matter. This whole thing, this whole biking thing should matter to you, the individual. It's your ride, your journey.
Right. So
good deal.
Without further ado.
Come on in here, Stormy. Come on in here. How you doing?
Fine. How are you guys?
Hey, welcome to the show.
I tell you, man, I love this right here, man. I love this right here, man. This is the part that I love right here. When our guests come on and they're all fired up, they're ready to go. And it's incredible, man. It's incredible. We got a little pre-production, man, but it always just takes on its own thing once we go live. But listen, I'm through beating my gums. How you doing, Stormy?
I'm doing good. It's cold in the D right now, but it's a little chilly. I think it's about like 17 degrees, but other than that, everything's good.
Oh my goodness, that is way too cold for me right about now. But listen, I just want to again welcome you to our Reef and K Solo official Ride to Eat family. You are a family now, but you did kind of say something to me when we were down there. You said, Solo, I'm a vegan.
Someone snitched on me, and basically it was Phoenix, one of my club sisters, and let him know I was calling it Ride to Starve. Because
right. The ride to starve, man, because she don't eat meat. So
everybody they was accommodating, so it was good. So
right, definitely, man. And you being a new booty, what was your take on the RTE?
I actually asked around about it prior to going because I'm like, sometimes you hear about stuff and people are just talking about the good points. And I was like, are people really like that? And knowing that what I consider elite writers were going to be there, especially like the Hokahe people, Iron Butt people, people that are really kind of known in the social media world. And some of those people can kind of be arrogant and egotistical, and that's kind of like not my environment to be around. So when I got there, and it was like it was it was like all like positive vibes, like legit positive vibes. Like I just kind of sat back, took it in. There was a couple of people, if I kind of went off to the side, it was like, get off your phone. You're supposed to be enjoying yourself. And sometimes I kind of just go off at times to go into my own little world. But generally, it was like an amazing vibe. Like I want some of my friends in Detroit that don't even ride just to come and go to me with an event like that where they can just feel like just all like genuine positivity. And when I showed people videos of it, and I was like, you see all these bikes, what do you hear? You hear people laughing, talking, giggling. You don't hear nobody revving. You don't hear nobody bumping no sounds. You don't hear, it was no chaos. It was all like huggy feely vibes, and that's the type of stuff I like. So
Oh man.
Yeah, definitely. We were both new booties, and I had the same vibe. I had kept saying I was gonna make it and make it, and as soon as from the moment I pulled up on my bike to the moment I pulled out on my bike, it was all warm and fuzzy. So it is really like a reunion, like a family reunion, and it's just everybody's just talking and fellowshipping. And if it is some static with someone there, you would never know it because they're not gonna say nothing just out of respect. I don't think nobody would ever even attempt to disrupt the vibe. So I mean, it's a great event.
Yeah, it is, man. Me and Reef and I, we enjoy putting it on every year. We gain new family members because we call it a family reunion. So we want to just welcome everybody and encourage and invite everybody to come on out. We're going to be in Florida this year. We hope that we get to see you back down at the Star Reunion.
I already booked a hotel before I knew about the host hotel, so I will be there.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Good deal. Well, listen, folks, we got a lot of ground to cover tonight. This is definitely one of our unsung hero riders out there in the riding community, and we want to highlight her, spotlight her, and give her roses right now. So without further ado, Doc, if you would please go ahead and take the lead, man.
All right. Yeah. Well, hey, Stormy, first of all, I just want to commend you for everything that you've done thus far on and off of the motorcycle set. From the moment I met you, we've always clicked. I remember, when you told me you was a doctor, a medical doctor, and you was from Detroit, my first thought was, well, isn't marijuana legal in Detroit? And so that means you can write a prescription. Can you write a prescription for an Army vet? I'm trying to figure out how we can make that connection. But anyway.
Hey, that's gonna be another episode. But, and by the way, Doc, I apologize. There are two doctors,
Right?
one ER doctor, one educational doctor in the house, man. So listen, we're gonna have fun with it tonight.
That's right. We both in the building, and so that's what I want you to start off with. I want you to take the lead and tell everybody what type of medical doctor you are, and how has that helped inspire your journey to begin motorcycling.
Okay, so I'm a board certified emergency medicine physician, trained, went to med school at Wayne State in Detroit. I'm a Detroiter for life, born and raised. I'm not going nowhere, actually within the city limits of Detroit. Trained at Detroit Receiving Hospital. That's where I did my residency training. That's a level 1 trauma center in Detroit. So I, even as a medical student, rotating, saw the worst of the worst. And then Was an attending for about a year there before I flew to Coop, where I saw the worst of the worst. And I didn't completed PhD work in traumatic brain injury. So just being on that and being the one at times that has seen some of the most critical, and I've seen some critical motorcycle accidents, and I wanted to ride, but in ER trauma, we refer to motorcyclists as donor cycles. So wanting to ride, but seeing all the risks, is like, how can I do this and keep myself safe, even though there's an inherent danger just tripping and falling in your own house. But how do I do something that is deemed dangerous and kind of like, I wouldn't say frowned upon in the medical community, but it's just looked at as something. Why would you do that? Why would you go out there unprotected? So I wanted to ride because I saw a couple of women in Detroit riding, and I thought that was the coolest thing ever. But also, I was like, well, I'm little compared to them. They probably got the leg strength to keep the bike up. So I did research on accidents, as in learning about motorcycles, but what did that person do wrong? Was it their fault? Okay, they didn't have gear on. Could a helmet could have protected them? Because there's injuries called degloving injuries. Won't go into that because that's a little graphic, but certain things that just simple gear can protect you from, especially your hands and your legs. So I did a lot of research, and I bought a bike before I knew how to ride, because I was like, if I don't get the bike, I won't ever do it.
Mm-hmm.
So got the bike, kind of went on YouTube to learn, Google. I was watching movies like Easy Rider and stuff because I didn't know nobody. And I was like, oh, that's what people do, get on a bike and go cross country and pack it and stuff. I saw the people around the city, but that was what I know, now known is what is called, referred to as the set. But I just knew as motorcycle clubs,
Right.
and interacting with and knowing that, generally these are nice people, although you hear stuff about in, the news and stuff, but being someone who has cared for people, I'm like, oh, these are, some pretty, decent people.
Mm-hmm.
So finally took the step to take a course, and it's crazy because I wanted to quit the course because I aced the written part, and when it came time to get on that bike, I was like, no. Mm-mm. And also at the time I was working at an ER, like right up the street from the dealership. So I saw a couple of students, a couple of instructors that came through.
So what you're saying is, you've seen a bunch of different accidents. Have you ever been the one to tell the family that their loved one didn't make it from a motorcycle accident?
Unfortunately, yes. It wasn't more of the story that they didn't make it, but and that was as a resident, because like I said, I was trained really well where you give speeches, and you got to be able to. It's not something that you're taught. It's in you and your empathy and how you relate to people. Because some doctors are horrible at it. Some people have a gift of it. Sometimes you can have a chaplain with you, but to let someone know that basically their loved one, yeah, they're breathing, they're on the ventilator, but far as when it comes to traumatic brain injuries, there was like no prognosis. So that was like one of my far as worst motorcycle accidents that I've seen, where I had to tell the family, they had just, that they're not going to make it out of my ER to even be admitted to the hospital. So
Now, I have to ask you, Doc, and we talked about it, Stormy, and I'll call you Doc too. Uh, how does being an emergency room ER doctor affect you, knowing and seeing riders go down, the injuries they sustain, the life altering effects of it, but you still sit there and say, I still have my passion to go out and ride?
mm, I do my best to minimize risks. I'm at GAT all the time. always geared up. Like you will rarely see me even pull my motorcycle out of my garage without my helmet on, because people don't understand. People crack their skulls and get, you know, brain injuries from falling from a chair.
Yeah.
You know, you hit it the wrong way. So, and I made sure that, you know, like in my videos, you'll see me like my videos that I don't post anywhere because I don't want to edit, because all my rides are recorded. Because I don't want to be a social media person. That's just not me. You know, I'm always looking in my mirrors. When I
Right.
first started writing, I trained myself to always, every I did counts of looking in my side mirrors and checking certain things and scanning. And I treated it as like everything on this road is trying to hurt me. That leaf blowing across the street is trying to hurt me, but not in a way that makes you like anxious to ride, but more so conscientious of your environment
Hmm.
as to what's actually going on in your surroundings. So, you know, seeing stuff and knowing the type of injuries, you know, I know that gear can assist, especially a helmet. Sometimes it is what it is, you know, you can't do that. Uh, I am from Detroit where they have speed limits, but that means nothing in a car or on a motorcycle. So knowing certain factors of certain times a day when accidents would happen, I wouldn't be on the road at those times when I first started riding. And even now, knowing that staying in a cluster of vehicles, even in a car, is not safe, because if something happens, you know, you got to have your escape routes, and are your escape routes actually an escape, or going to put you in more hazard. And I view writing as a video game where you don't have no extra lives. And also, it's like a game of chess, being strategic, looking far ahead, knowing what your next move is, and also knowing what the possible move of that other vehicle is. So, a lot of stuff is more so kind of, I guess, nerdy and technical with me
Hmm.
as to how do I keep myself safe. I can protect my body, I got that, but also, you know, the perspective on the road, how do I keep myself safe? And do I speed at times? Yes, because if I see something and I need to get away, or get away from a cluster of cars, or, you know, sometimes people don't realize, you know, you need to use all your senses. Like if I smell burning rubber and I see little pebbles dropping and I know there's no gravel truck near me, I know that's a semi that's about to blow a tire.
Hmm.
I'm getting away from that area, you
Right.
know. So there's a whole lot of factors over time, you know, that built up over years before I even got on a bike to ride. So
YouTube it. You say you YouTube
You
how.
YouTube it.
I YouTubed how to ride a motorcycle and how to pack a motorcycle, and terrified the people that I purchased the motorcycle from, because they had bought it in the wintertime. They kept it. And I was like, you know, should I pay y'all for keeping this? It's like, no, you're fine. I was like, the weather broke. And I was like, well, I want to get on the ride a little bit. I bought this. You break, you buy. I already bought it. So I got on it, rode around the parking lot, then cut between cars and stuff, because it was an auto dealership too. I watched them, these full grown men clutching their chest and stuff. And then I was all excited, got to them and stopped. And I forgot to put my foot down because, mind you, I'm just, and that was learning something new, because, you know, I'm from Detroit. Michigan women, we built different. And our men here, you know, they gonna let you be, you know, they'll be there for you, but they gonna let you be and make sure you know how to do stuff proper. So they was like, well, here's your first another lesson. You're about to learn how to pick this bike up. Pick the
Mhm.
bike up, and it was a 2001 1200 custom Sportster. I bought it used in 2015, and it wouldn't. I was like, well, it won't start. He was like, you're about to learn another lesson. You flooded your carburetor. You got to walk it a little bit. So after that, they rode my bike home for me, and it was like, we want you to take a course. And they let me know, because I damaged the turn signal. They let me know, once you feel comfortable enough to ride this back up here, we'll fix whatever needs to be fixed on the bike. So
Yeah.
Stormy, how tall are you?
My ID says 5'2".
We you know we had that conversation last night.
And you turned around looking for it.
I know, right?
Okay.
I know
Oh my
somewhere
God.
around
So
5'2". I'm not gonna ever grow like
but
if you. Yeah, I'm just little.
hey, bald head Nasty said lies. Moose said, I appreciate your work as a traumatic brain injury person that just got over a 4-year headache. Indeed, Moose, indeed. Um, Folks, it's serious. That's why we're taking it serious. We want to have a good time with it tonight, laugh and joke, because she's done some incredible riding all around the country. And as a matter of fact, on the other side of the world. So we're gonna dive into a little bit of that. Who's that? Bolo said 5'2". She said her ID said 5'2". We already know. If we had a tallest and shortest in the RTE family, tallest would go to 6'10", and I think Stormy would get the 5-foot award. We love it. Oh my goodness. Hey folks, thanks for joining us tonight. We got Bolo on with us. We got Swole Guy Brown with us. We got Little Mama in the house. How you doing, Little Mama? Bald Head Nasty Dahoo 4664 in the house. Moose in the house. Once again, tonight's episode is brought to you by Creative View. Make sure you go check out my guy DJ Effects, man. He's sponsoring this episode for tonight. Doc Remy, what are we wearing, Doc?
Hey, we got on our Trip Talk shirts, man, with creative views. Thank you.
Thank you. That's right.
Feels
That's
good,
right.
nice and comfortable.
Man, that temperature out there dropping anyway, so
Sleeves
we
up.
need this. Well, listen, I got a question for you. You started riding in 2016, you said. 2016. Right. Started up in Detroit. It's a different type of riding up there. It's more city riding, more urban riding. Once you get outside of that area, that's when it kind of open up. How did you find starting out in an urban environment that's, I would say, the interstate is congested, the city is congested? How was that?
When I took my course, after we completed, they gave a lot of advice because it was the people at the Harley dealership, and then some of our instructors or people that just came hang out were Wayne County sheriffs. So they always told us to, want to go out on like a Sunday morning. When I rode around the neighborhood, if I saw any like men like at the gas station that rode up on a bike, a couple of them told me you don't have no reason to be out in these streets on a Friday or a Saturday. Far as being safe. So with my work schedule, sometimes I would get home and it's dark. That's why I do a lot of night riding. My riding was at times where kind of no one would really be out on the road. Like I said, I worked in Detroit. I would never be out like pregame after any type of sport event or after a sport event or a concert because most likely people will be driving intoxicated, which puts risk to themselves and you. So I did a lot of night riding through my neighborhood, and my rides would be, I found various different ways to get to downtown Detroit without taking one of our main roads, which is Woodward, or going on the freeway. My first time going on the freeway is a couple of my rugby sister and kickball sister came and got me. There was an event going over in Windsor. A veterans MC was having an event, North Wall Riders. That was my first event in meeting people. And they came and scooped me up at my house and they was like, we're going on the freeway. And I was like, oh God. And then not only the freeway, going over the Ambassador Bridge and going over into Canada, like my first time out of the neighborhood. So I'm trying not to ramble. I don't even remember the question. I'm so nervous. But
you're right on it, man. You're right on it.
I asked a lot of people if I saw them on the road because that's me anywhere. I'm gonna ask somebody questions. I don't care. I go up to people, hey, this, hey, that. So I was giving advice about stuff like that. I always say I almost got ran over by the car from the Great Gatsby because we have the Dream Cruise up here. And I was out riding like, oh, this would be cool or whatnot. And it was like the yellow big, it was the same car from the Great Gatsby. And honestly, when I reviewed the video, I was like, that kind of was my fault because their side mirror was like the size of my mirror on the motorcycle. And technically, I would have been in their, like in an area where they would a blind spot. So I did that, and then I would go to well, we have Belle Isle Island. I would go there late night and like circle around or whatnot, do a loop of it. You know, I thought those were curves and stuff like that. Um, Sometimes there's wildlife out there. You know, they were supposed to have removed all the deer when the Grand Prix came back. And I realized when I was out there, they didn't get all of y'all because it was still deer
Mm,
out there.
mm,
So I would always circle through the neighborhood, make it the longest way to get downtown to the river. Because I can make it an hour ride to get down there when technically it's only like 14, 15 minutes
mm.
to get down there, do my loop, and then come back home. So really didn't do a lot of highway riding until I made the jump to get on the road and go.
Right. And that's where we met, right? Your first ride was Black Girls Ride to Essence Fest, and I think that was my first time going. And what's so cool, and I want to give a shout out to Portia Taylor and her team for putting on that Black Girls Ride to Essence Fest down in the Boots, New Orleans every year. And you all make sure you go this year coming up because I believe this is going to be the last year for that ride. So you don't want to miss that one. But I want to give a shout out because the way Portia Taylor had it was if you had like us new booties that were just coming, she would put you with different members who were coming from different areas of the country. And if you were riding independently, as myself was and as Stormy was, you would link up with someone. So I linked up with Squeaky, and so did Stormy, and we ended up riding. But I don't know how that. You go ahead. You met up with Squeaky in Memphis, but I met up with Squeaky to do a ride. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is shout out to Black Girls Ride and the way you guys connect independent females out here riding to your events. And you make sure we get there safely by meeting up with us, by staying on the jack with us, making sure we have what we need. So shout out to y'all. But yeah, that's how Stormy and I met going down to Black Girls Ride events, solo dolo. So I was impressed with you because you had told me you came from Detroit by yourself all the way down from Detroit to New Orleans. I rode in from Nashville down to New Orleans, and I thought I had did something, but I was just like blown away. So yeah, so go ahead. That was your first ride, right?
Yes,
Black.
that was my first. That was my first time probably going more than. Well, I was. It, that was the same week that we had our Freedom Festival. Like we have fireworks that we share with like Windsor because it's right over there. So we have our celebrations together. So I went to Belle Isle real quick. One of my friends, she fishes and her family sets up every year. And I went to the island. I was like, well, let me get off the island before it gets congested. And I was like, I'm about to do this ride. I'm supposed to meet up with these women in Memphis. I haven't rode more than like 30 miles outside the city limits. So I just got on a bike, rode up to almost like Flint, Michigan, up 75 and rode back. And I was like, oh, okay, that's good. There are some women from Detroit that were going that welcomed me to ride with them. I know one of the sisters, she was going, her club brothers were getting her down there, but I was also a little tired because I had work, so I couldn't make those meetup times.
Yeah.
So to actually ride with people, so
Yeah.
I packed my bike up. I went on YouTube, packed my bike up. My mom showed up at my house and was supposed to do a prayer for me. And then she's like, hold up, wait a minute. And she was like, I need to go to the gas station and get a coffee. And I was like, well, what does that have to do with me? And she went to get a coffee because she was like, no, I'm following you. So she followed me to my first gas stop, which was like around the Bowling Green area. Cause you know, with the old Sportster, I don't have like a real like gas gauge on it. So I just kind of, when I read my research, I was like, okay, I'll just be stopping every 100 miles and keep track of that. So she rode me to my first gas stop. I took off. It was record temperatures that year. Um, I learned that the heat is no joke. Mind you, I wear full gear. This is before I knew about cooling stuff. The little vent that you pull back to ventilate, that had melted and twisted sideways in the heat. I was like a whole hot mess of chaos. My glasses, the frame had melted and broke. The whole crew, like Squeaky and them, were checking in. Like I had never met these women a day in my life.
Right.
Were checking in on me because I was supposed to meet up with them in Memphis. You know, I made a call to them. There's like, what's going on? I was like, well, I'm contemplating my life decisions. And they was like, what is going on? And, you know, my best friend, she's checking in on me too. For like, she stays in Atlanta now, but she was in Detroit. She's checking in on me. She was like, are you okay? She was like, why are you shaky? Why are you crying? I was like, well, I thought a woman was trying to kill me, but it was a goat. I was coming up on the exit, and mind you, I don't know about heels and all that stuff. Coming up on the exit on 75 to go get gas, and this lady like cuts over like in front of me, and I look at her like, what? And she got tears in her eyes and stuff. She was blocking me because if I kept going, it was a whole baby goat on the road just running, and this farmer's trying to chase it down and stuff. So I pulled over the gas stop and I said, and then I'm being, you know, I'm the type of person to be like, ooh, butterfly, you know, that type of person. And there's people popping off fireworks and stuff. I'm like, I am so overstimulated and distracted now. But they checked in with me, and I finally made it to Memphis to make it with the group. And you know, Squeaky, she kind of like a drill sergeant on stuff. I didn't know all the rule, you know, and stuff. You get up in the front, blah blah blah, and all this stuff. And they, I'm like, who is this woman? Right, like whoa, you know. So they made sure I got there safely. Like I was blessed. Like I just met like what I would deem are the popular people and like skilled writers at the time, because in that group in Memphis, that was the Midwest group. It was like people like Piper. And that was like, you know, y'all all know who Piper is. I think everybody knows who Piper is, you know. Yeah. So I met her for the first time, and I thought she was really cool. I was like, oh my God, you know, and hearing people talk about her stories. They made sure they got to the hotel. There was an event because the Midwest crew was running late because we had some issues. I learned what the term lot lizard is. Like I learned a lot. I learned a lot of stuff that weekend. Like I'm like, I don't
You
know.
definitely was getting the dirty, low down highway version talk.
But they made sure that that we got to the hotel, all that whole group, that we got to the hotel. Then we had to just take off and go to the meet and greet. And like I said, one of the most memorable people, you know, that moment was like Piper, because I don't even know if she remembers this. I did not know her. She must have sensed my anxiety because it was some weird, like, turnaround that we needed to go to. And she just looked at me, and I'm just sitting there, and she was like, if you don't feel comfortable doing this, what you're going to do is go up this road here, we'll turn around and then come back around. And just by her saying that kind of like boosted up my confidence. So I was like, I think I can do this. Mm-hmm. And I was able to make the turn and not have to go all the way up and around. And I got a lot of like positive, unsolicited advice that whole weekend. Mm-hmm. From people, because I guess they were finding out like, oh, there's a little one from Detroit that did. Because I honestly thought that's what people did. They just got on their bike and rode. And I didn't know that was a big deal for someone kind of being new to riding, especially that little bike that I was on, and it was old, to get on a bike and do that. So yeah. I made a lot of people like Miss Sunshine Roger. Like I met all these people that now that I know from being around are like very knowledgeable, lots of wisdom, like Mama D, like all these people. Like I met all these people just from that one event, and like kind of was able to branch out from there. So
That was the beauty of Black Girls Ride. I had this same experience. I didn't know the women when I first got on my bike and rode down there. I didn't know that they were legends and elite riders across the country and paving the way for women like myself who had seen them on social media. And I was like, man, I can do that. I want to do that. I want to get on the road and go. And I was just like you, Stormy. I just jumped on it and hit the road, not knowing that that was a big deal for a woman to get on a bike and pound, and then do an iron butt the first go round. Did you do an iron butt your first time on the road?
Yeah, after that, when I got back home, because the thing is, I had my route established to go back home. It wasn't no big deal for me. And then I guess Portia let Squeaky and other Midwest crews, basically it's like, no, she can't ride back home by herself. They wanted to make sure that somebody was with me at the time. So I rode with the group to Midwest, and then I didn't know about the state sign stuff. I personally think it's dangerous, but they made sure that I got a couple of state signs on my way back. Even went out of their way to cut over to get me like the Indiana state sign when some of them were going back to Ohio. So when I got back home, I was like, wow, this was interesting. This was really cool. I got caught in a first storm of rain with no protection, and I had rain gear. So that was probably, eventually I'm coming to my name of Stormy, of being in always inclement weather. When I got home, I wanted to say, like, do I really like this? I kind of like this. And there was a family event that was taking place in St. Petersburg, Florida. So I was like, I don't need no ticket. I'm a ride to this. And then he kept coming up, and I was like, I don't feel like getting on the road. Like, and that learned something about myself too. I don't get on the road unless people might call it the Holy Spirit or whatever, or your intuition to get on the road. I don't get on that road until I'm given a clear signal to get on that road. So I actually tried to get up a couple of times, and it wasn't working. So I actually laid down in all my gear. Finally got up. One of the brothers in Canada was like, where are you going? And it's like St. Petersburg. He was like, keep your receipts. That's an iron butt. And I was like, what's an iron butt? And I looked it up, and I was like, that is chaos. But I needed to get there at a certain time. And they said, well, within 24 hours, it took me 23 hours. I could have kept going. I gave up. That's when I experienced Atlanta's Walking Dead traffic.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know I know now to schedule not going through Atlanta when there's traffic, and they were doing construction too. So I took almost the full amount of time and made it to the hotel where my mom, my grandma, and everything was at in St. Petersburg. And I laid out in the parking lot because I couldn't move, and I had traumatized myself. And it's hilarious because I got to the room. My mom made a bath for me. She was like, "You too grown. I'm not helping you clean up." I started taking my clothes off. My mom was like, she was like, "What is that?" She thought I had a tattoo. I ain't have a tattoo. I Sharpied all my emergency contacts across my abdomen and chest, like blood type, who to call. I don't have any allergies. I'm not an organ donor, all that stuff, because worst case scenario, if something traumatic happened, the torso is always intact. And also I had in gear, so they would be able to have my contact information. That's before I learned about like these little bracelets and stuff. But my mom had thought I had a tattoo. She wasn't concerned that I was a little tired and been on the road. She was concerned that she thought I had a tattoo.
It's
But
some
yeah,
military. That's some military stuff right there. Where you just write all your information on yourself, like A positive, man. Allergy.
yep.
Yeah, indeed. That's
So
awesome.
I kept the receipts and turned it in, and then when I got back home, my neighbors they're pretty known in like the gospel community in Detroit.
Mhm.
So one I saw her go like this, like a couple of days after I got home. I was like, oh, I'm about to get in trouble because she's gonna say it's dangerous and that they would have prayed for you. No, I got over there. It was hey. It was Angie and Ron Kelly. Those are my neighbors. Uh, Angie was like, we would have said prayer for you. And also, if you're gonna be doing that type of stuff, you need a bigger bike. And I was like, so I've had encouragement to do all this type of stuff because one, it gets me out of the house. And, because other than that, I just kind of stay at the house, watch movies, be in the garden, play video games. Because my outlet, I didn't have an outlet. My outlet in high school, I was a lacrosse goalie. So I would focus, anything negative or, far as decompression was me on the field. Me being a lacrosse goalie, I always took it as playing catch with somebody that can't throw straight. So I channeled that and actually being really good in my conferences, even in undergrad, like I was preseason All-American pick for lacrosse goalie, even at my height. And then when I got to med school, I joined the Detroit Rugby Football Club. So I played rugby, and despite my size, I wasn't a back. I was a flanker with the big people because I tackled and I hit hard. So that was my decompression. And then after that, I was like, I don't have anything to decompress. This seems fun. It's technical. It's kind of I mean, rugby is kind of dangerous too. Uh, and then just got into it, and I ended up getting a bigger bike. I mean, it's small compared to some people's bike, but it got the bigger engine than some of these big bikes. I just don't have all the gadgets and stuff in the front because I don't like that. I like being able to see the road in front of me. Um, I had to get out of the habit of that because I was like, I'm getting a little older and I might forget. I memorized my routes and I kept a map with me, and I would try to memorize some alternative routes too if I needed to get off the road to get back to highway. So all my routes were memorized, and the only time I would check like a phone or GPS is at a gas stop to check weather or to see if there's like any delays from an accident.
Wow.
So I'm not fond of GPS because GPS will hurt your feelings. Because sometimes the shortest route is not the best route. So
So you do not use GPS, you do not use Waze, you do not use Google Maps. You pretty much just kind of stay
I'll
to the
look at them
interstate,
to,
major interstate for highway incident traffic and stuff like that.
yep, I'll look at stuff to map out my route, but then my route is up here.
Okay.
Or either I would have like cue cards or something written where I would cross off where I've passed, or either recheck at a gas stop.
Well, good deal. Hey, I have to ask this question before we go to a quick 60-second break. Do you have any affiliation organization that you affiliated with?
Currently, yes, Bessie Bell's Riding Club.
Okay.
It's
Now,
in
has that been the only motorcycle club affiliation that you've had?
Yes, and it's a riding club because I have different views. Like I did all the research and everything, before that because I know certain things I'm not about. I'm not about certain lifestyles, certain things, and I know that I did enough research that if I go into an environment, I know how to conduct myself. And I'm from Detroit. We big on respect here. That's the thing. I'm in Detroit. We big on respect. I did enough research that if I go into those environments to make sure I'm not disrespectful and to how to conduct myself. But far as being affiliation with like a group, it's like you can't knock it till you try it. So it's like, just like I want to try all styles of riding. I
Right.
was like, well, at least let me try this because it's a riding club.
Which we're gonna get into that when we get right back, folks. Hey, listen, we're gonna take a quick break, folks. So just hang tight, stay where you're at, grab you a cup, grab you a stick, or fire up a stick, man. We'll be right back. Hey, folks, it's K Solo of Riding with K Solo podcast. Hey, just want to let you know, tune in every Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, 5 Pacific, right here on Riding with K Solo, the podcast on YouTube and broadcasting on Facebook. Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 Central, 5 Pacific, where we're going to be highlighting the unsung riders from across the nation, riding the highways and byways, the back roads, the adventures, the journeys, the tales, and the legacies. Make sure you tune in right here, Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, 5 Pacific, Riding with K Solo, the podcast. All right, folks, we are back. So look, we're gonna jump over into our next segment of your journey. You kind of mentioned it. You said you're into different styles of riding now. Dirt bike riding, Euro riding. We're gonna dive into that. So what made you want to go into Euro riding or dirt bike riding?
Well, like you said, branching off, like I said, Black Girls Ride is where it started, where I met people. I ended up going to their beautiful bikers thing that they had in Las Vegas, where I met people like Morris Zim and all this other people. And I found out it was on the itinerary as WRWR, Women's Rider World Relay. And that was the brainchild of Haley Bell. She's over in the UK, of getting women together where it's kind of like a baton that you pass from country to country. And I was fortunate enough to join in with the US group in Ohio. So from there, like our US ambassador was Liza Miller. She's out in California. She's like popular in the community too, like has a podcast and all that stuff. She kicked a lot of knowledge during that ride, and I always heard people say you should be able to ride different styles of motorcycles. And she even invited me out there, and I was like, don't do me dirty, sis. Because just because I can pick something up fast, like I will pick something up, doesn't mean that in the inside I feel confident doing it, because one, I don't know how to minimize the risk in what I'm doing. So they found a child size almost dirt bike for me while I was out there. And my first time dirt bike, and it was brief, was in the Hollister Mountains, that area. They took me to like the kiddie course in a parking lot area, and then we were supposed to go on something pretty chill. And my first time going up, I ended up going up the side of a mountain, flipping over, and then getting frustrated. I didn't know you were supposed to take the bike back down. I just yanked the bike because it's so light compared to a Harley, and was frustrated and started dragging it up the mountain, and they were just came and got the bike from me. So I would have to say that she's definitely a person that pushed me beyond my limits of skill level. So from, with the Women's World Relay, that we did, I met her, and then I was invited to Pakistan. I traumatized myself a lot on the road, because I always question, why did I do that when I got home? That was dangerous.
Before you go over to Pakistan,
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about more of this ride that you guys did, the ride around, man. Because that Sharif and I and Dave, we did the ride around the USA. Tell us about your relay ride, though.
I think the U.S. started up in Maine. I caught up with the group in Ohio. Like I said, this is a brainchild of Haley Bell. She wanted to get women together across the world, across the globe, to basically ride and promote women's riding. Like there were certain countries where they only had one rider that was riding through. But there's also my big sis Colette, Colette out of Australia. I still think she needs to write a book. She did most of the countries, like even if she bought a bike in another country and rode through. So we had where we rode and we had different stops in various states. Our route did have to be altered a little bit because there was a storm coming in and you had to worry about the factors like going through Montana and stuff like that. And, you know, we would link up with more people in that state. Some people would only do, you know, briefly to one state. I was with the group, like the kind of core group that has started in Maine and continued through. Because at one time we woke up, I think it was somewhere in South Dakota. It was kind of cold and cold for me. And a lot of people kind of bailed out because it was cold. And there's a couple of ladies, if they remember me, because I was in the library, I was like, I'm not no punk. I'm from Michigan. I can do this. You know, it's cold. So I kept going. And I think right there, we're in Illinois in that picture that I met up with people, like more people that went along. And you carry the baton. Is that what you
Baton.
And you know, basically went from state to state until we ended up in Mexico, where we passed it over to our sisters in Mexico. So it was the same baton that went from state to state. In certain places, they were expecting us. Like we had events. That's it. I'm looking on the map. Murdo, somewhere between Murdo and Casper, we ended up. It was my bad too, because I kind of read the clouds wrong because there was a little bit of snow. And I was like, oh, it's good. That should be passing. We got on the highway and it was a whole like mini whiteout blizzard. And I was like, are we doing this? In my head, I was like, oh my God, we're really doing this. I was like, they really gonna keep riding. And mind you, I don't like windscreens. So I'm just catching snow. And I learned it's kind of like a car too. If you go like this, snow slides and the snow slid here. I had to open my head. We were all freezing that ride. But you know, I'm from Michigan. I couldn't act like I was cold. I feel like, although, you know, I don't know if you guys know what like it's almost chill bangs, like where when your hands are rewarming, it like feels like a blaze of glass.
Yes.
So I went off into the corner, like crying almost, while everybody else, I'm like, I can't let them see me weak, you know, type deal. But we looked around. There were events for us everywhere, either at a dealership or like when I got to cross the San Francisco Bridge. So I videotaped all of this. Most of it is me screaming and hollering in San Francisco, questioning who designed the city. Why would they do this? Those hills and those curves were making me kind of like, I cried. I was scared. I'm going to tell you, no fear, but it was scary because those are, you know, terrains and conditions and like the little pinhead turns and then narrow streets or two-way that I had not. I'm from Michigan. I hadn't experienced any of that. So yeah, that was, and I met a lot of people. Tested my skills that I did not know I had at all. So yeah.
Stormy, when you touch on that you were crying and you're not afraid to say it.
No.
Yesterday, okay, so during pre-production, we talked about how part of the journey, your journey, was being frustrated with women that would post and not talk about those things, the struggles of motorcycle riding. And when I first started riding, I was embarrassed for things that happened, or if I got a flat, or you know, if I missed a turn, you know, just different things. I thought I was embarrassed and didn't want nobody to know that I was making those type of mistakes. And now I realize that those types of mistakes, if we share it, will help the next person. Like you researching and YouTube and say, like Piper or someone else who's out here with a blogging or GQ, you know what I mean? If someone can look that up and see, oh wow, if you hit the front brakes too hard, you're gonna go down. But instead of me, when I was making a mistake like that, I wanted to hurry up and get back up, and I didn't want nobody to see that I had made that type of mistake. Instead of teaching someone or learning why I made that mistake and then showing someone, hey, don't do this because this will happen. And so I applaud you for saying you will cry and you recorded it, and most of it was you yelling and stuff. And I think more women out here should do that. Can you speak on that a little bit?
Yeah, like let's see, before, because I ended up riding to Mexico twice in 1 year, because there was International Female Ride Day to meet up with the group in San Diego, and I was like, I can do this, and did it in 3 days to get out there. But I had to play dig dug on the map because it was, almost springtime Midwest, so it's like tornado season, certain areas, storms. So I was trying to avoid storms and tornadoes to get there. And then it got to the point where I got to like the panhandle of Texas, and I was like, I need to be there the next day. So I do have undocumented, what's that, the bun burners and iron butts, because I'm like, I'm not, wasn't thinking about any receipts. So I rode from like was that Amarillo, Texas, somewhere in the panhandle, all the way through San Diego, and had to time it because I don't do well in the heat. 85 degrees is hot to me. So I could time it where I'm not going through like the desert area, like during the day or whatnot. And it's probably like the last 300 miles that, I called my friends, like my little cousin, like people talk, they have a pit crew. My little cousin would be like looking at a map on a blip with her and her neighbors watching it like it's a movie with me moving and stuff. So, it's like the last 300 miles. Like it's a local DJ. I was like, can you please make some music for me for this ride? I like house music, and we call it Detroit Ghetto Tech or whatnot. And then house music, she actually dropped some music off for me before that ride. And it was like the last 300 miles, and I just like started bawling, and I called back home, and everybody's like, are you tired? I was like, I'm not tired at all. I can go all night, I was like, I'm not tired, because it's more like a marathon. I'm not sprinting, and I actually work out before riding season and prepare my body.
Oh, we're going to get to that.
But it was frustrating because I was, call home, and I was like, everybody be making this stuff look easy, because I didn't know no riders that did this until I started following people, or people friend requested me after Essence. Because the women in Detroit that were looking out for me, they keep it real and honest. They got pretty bikes up here. And they was like, we don't do that type of, some of them's like, we don't do that type of riding, but we're going to make sure you're straight and look out for you. Mm-hmm. Nobody trying to front or anything like that. So like the last 300 miles, and I was like, all these pictures and selfies I'm seeing people take, and like, and this and stage times. I was like, they all smiling and stuff. Why do I feel like this is so difficult and I'm struggling? Like, because only thing I'm seeing is like selfies and fanfare, when I'm out here struggling on the road, like getting hit by crosswinds that I've never experienced before, reading and what they teach you, you know what to do, but like, did I do it right? Things like that. And it was just very frustrating.
But you know what, Stormy, I have to kind of interject right quick. You know what, I started saying this a long time ago. There's the good, the bad, and the ugly of riding. People always show you the good. They don't show you the bad. They don't show you the ugly. The bad is bad weather, that cold that you experience, that shivering. Why am I out here? The ugly, breakdowns, flat tires, bike won't start, parts falling off your bike, you're stranded. The good, the bad, the ugly. People will always show the good. So yes, people, what she's saying, start showing more of the ugly. That's the real part. That's the part right there that's going to educate others. Each one teach one. So Stormy, you definitely nailed that one right on the head.
Thanks. K Solo, is that one of the requirements of being a tight end?
What is that?
You have to. One of the requirements of being a Titan for the Iron Elite is you have to be able to show that you have been teaching people and showing people about the road and safety and things like that, right?
That's one of the things that we look for when we're judging for the Titan Award. Has that person been a each one teach one? Has that person been there open to others to sit there and say, how do I do this, or how do I get here, or what's the best equipment to use? A lot of the Titans out here now that's been influencing riders from coast to coast through opening their doors, through sitting there, being accessible to phone calls. So that's definitely one of the top things that we look for when selecting a Titan.
Okay, gotcha. So Stormy, you after we talked about Pakistan, right?
We're going in it. We're in Pakistan now.
Okay.
We're in Pakistan.
So I got invited to Pakistan with some of the sisters that I had met during the Women's Rider World Relay. And, it's like, I don't have no dirt or real off-road experience except for that one little, thing that I went on. And it was like, well, we've seen you ride your Harley. And I was like, I was like, I still don't think I know what I'm doing to this day, because it's like practicing medicine. I'm forever learning, new stuff. Like I don't consider myself elite or nothing like that, or a rider. I'm just a motorcyclist that likes it and wants to continue to learn more and to become a better rider. So I got invited out there, and I just wanted to make it home. My goal was to make it home, just to make it home and not go off a cliff or break anything. And they had this stuff called Band-Aid Awards. I think I got the most Band-Aids, like every time you went down, because I was just, different styles or bikes are handled differently as far as how you take a curve versus, all types of stuff. And then I was just kind of tippy-toe on the bike, didn't know much about sand, sections that were in like altitude. I never did switchbacks prior to that. And, I was doing switchbacks in like a national park that was like dirt, gravel type stuff. And I was like, I can't stop to help nobody else, because it was kind of like fend for yourself if I stop, and do it. So that kind of pushed me beyond over my limits, because I actually had oh shoot, I just saw that she watching. My cousin that is part of my pit crew, she's my younger cousin. I'll call her and was like, she basically told me to suck it up and stop crying. And I was like, you not seeing what I'm going through. And then I sent her pictures, and she was like, okay, I understand why you're crying. Because it was just stuff that I wasn't familiar with. I didn't know what it would feel like going over sand or dirt or mud. And, it's you on the opposite road, and the side of the road. And sometimes I would forget that. And then there would be blind curves, and, you make the wrong move, you going off a cliff, and they're still old school there, where they'll herd their animals are herded on the road. So you might come around and, please be nice, Mr. Cow or Mr. Sheep, and bob and weave in between that. And then like that road right there you're showing, I was on that. The thing is, there was always a support vehicle behind us, but during that stretch, I didn't, it got to the point where I got tired of busting my butt trying to keep up with the group. So, how people say ride your ride, I was like, I know it's people in front of me, I know it's people behind me. So it is what it is. So that is up top. That's the route that we did to get to the border with Pakistan and China. And I was like, this bike about to give up because that was the high altitude. I was like, I am not finding this zone of blipping that they keep talking about. My body was struggling in the altitude. Finally
Wow.
made it up top. But the one thing about me, I have no problem with crying. I'm still good and can back it up, but I
Right.
cry.
You walk the walk and
You
talk the
know,
talk, man. Talk
yeah,
the talk, walk the
I
walk. There
still
you
cry,
go.
but also I know not to push myself beyond limits
Mm-hmm.
to try to keep up with other people. I don't have to do that.
Mm-hmm.
When I got up there, I sensed that the altitude was definitely affecting me.
Mm.
Um, I really wanted to stop on the road, but there was no one else around, and it's not like you got pull-offs or anything. And that is a paved road that was there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it was kind of like some diesel fumes when they hit me up there because it was truckers waiting to go over to China. And they have to kind of stop and wait. And I got excited when the soldier, the guard dude, said I could take a picture with them. So that little bit of running I did, like whoop de doo, go up there, just took me out. My speech got slurred,
137,000.
and it was higher at the border.
13,700 feet.
Yeah.
13,700 feet. Open my eyes up. 13,700 feet.
Yeah.
I thought you
Yeah,
said you're gonna put your glass.
you take off running. You take off running at that elevation right there, man. You just gonna be.
Yeah. So, me being conscious, I was like, okay, I'm tachycardic. I'm feeling this. My speech got slurred. This isn't good. I am not physically capable and safely riding this bike back down. We had a support group, and I got into the support, and it was crazy because I loved our support crew, our Pakistani guys. I can't remember all their names, but they were so awesome. Because when I got in the vehicle and I was like, okay, I'm just going to take a nap. They was like, no, no, no. They wouldn't let me go to sleep. Because we were up, because I was like, I just feel tired and I want to take a nap. They wouldn't let me go to sleep. And it was cool because on the way down, I got to see some animals like a yak. Because I was like, can we stop and see the animals? Stuff like that. But that was Barbusa top. I think the Pakistan-China border was even higher.
Mm-hmm.
But I recognized what was going on. Like I was kind of borderline dying in that picture right there because I was like, I kept checking my pulse. And I was like, I was taking this herbal stuff for possible altitude and tried to prepare my body before going there. Like went to GNC and got like the nitric oxide supplements and stuff. I probably needed to go to the actual doctor.
I was gonna ask you what type of train up did you do for the elevation, for the thin air, for the fatigue?
Nothing but my normal workout and trying to find some supplements that might help me. That's it. I didn't do no training for the elevation. I was just up there.
And you survived off a vegan diet.
Yes. They actually made accommodations for me for his food, and even at the local restaurants, like the food was awesome. So, I did try something because I was like, I'm over here. Let me try something because I wanted to see if their meat tastes different because they're very respectful to their animals over there, and I think that makes a whole difference. Like far as when it's time for that animal to end and be someone's meal, they're very respectful to their animals that they're hurting. So I tried something called mutton. I think it was like, I don't know if that's goat or lamb. It didn't upset my stomach. And then one of our stops, they actually caught fish out of the actual river and they fried it up right there. And I was like, I got to try it. I'm here. Because I don't even eat fried food, and I tasted and I was like, this tastes so different compared to home. And I was like, probably because we pump ourselves with a whole bunch of chemicals and stuff. So,
hey, Naptown said, I know a few folks train with those altitude masks to help prepare. Yeah, they got those masks that you can wear while you're working out, doing cardio, and it'll labor your breathing and strengthen your lungs. Good deal. Thank you, Naptown.
Yeah, I worked out and found some supplements online and that was it.
Mhm.
That was that's how I prepared.
Wow, wow. What advice would you give someone looking to do one of those excursions?
Um, if I would say now that I've had some training far as past this summer, I would have been way more confident if I could go back in time doing this ride.
Mhm.
Although I did it, I overcame. Like, this was a couple of weeks after they had those major floods in Pakistan where it kind of really messed up the southern part of the country.
Right.
Mhm.
So some of the little water crossings were deeper. Like I got taken out what I call like by a landscaping rock in a river crossing and just kind of tipped over. And it was to the point where I didn't even care anymore because I had fell so many times. I was like, I'm just gonna lay here in the cold water.
Mhm.
I didn't care anymore. But of course, I had a sister in front of me and behind me. They came in, they got the bike off me, and then they was like, "You fine?" I was like, "Yeah, get her up, girl, keep going." I
Wow.
kept going. But my advice is, if you don't have that experience, I would say take a dirt bike or off road course,
Mhm.
so you're not going over somewhere like that, and because I felt overwhelmed. That's the only way to describe it.
Right.
And if you're with something, it's not like you're getting instructions over there and somebody holding your hand and teaching you stuff, because they didn't pay their money, they over there riding, they doing their own thing. So
And when did you do this ride?
that was a little after the pandemic, so let me go refer to my notes. Pakistan was in 2022, September 2022.
Okay,
Mhm.
2022. And you were featured in AMA magazine before this
Uh,
ride?
I had a little picture in there. There was a whole write up. One of the writers from AMA was on our trip with us, and a couple of people affiliated with AMA were on our
Mhm.
trip. So my sister right there that wrote the article, she's the one on the first front cover. So
Mhm.
she did a whole write up, and I think that was the March 2023 edition. She did a whole write up about the trip in there.
Nice. Nice.
Nice.
So I got a couple of pictures because I linked up. It was like a cool sister over there that was riding, and she's Pakistani, and her brother taught her how to ride, and she was getting out
Oh,
there and starting to ride. So we kind of like synced up, and it was kind of cool, to link up
right,
with her. So
right, right.
Mhm.
Folks, if I don't know if your page is public, if you professional dashboard, but folks, you can go and take a look at her pictures, look at her history, man. There's just so many, and they're beautiful, and they're the landscape. They are some of the buildings, the countryside. It's beautiful. Um, she she definitely captured a moment. So, like I say, go check her out on her book, on her social media. You would definitely be inspired. Doc,
Yeah, Stormy, you went when you did the WRWR, y'all dropped down to Mexico, correct?
yes, we ended up dropping down, and we didn't ride over because it was right at the border. We crossed over in Laredo.
Okay. So, but you have touched Canada, the United States, and Mexico.
Yeah, like Canada. I mean, I'm in Detroit. Canada is right there.
that's your
I dated
that's your back
somebody in
door.
Canada, so I was over there all the time. Like
Okay.
that's South Detroit, Windsor.
Right.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. I've been
you
to
know,
Windsor before. Yeah.
so like me going to Canada is not a big deal. Our fire departments play tug of war across the river, so I know that's a big deal for some people. But the this past summer, I wanted to do some more training to help try to build up my confidence level, especially if I want to go out of the country more, because I do want to. But there's stuff I still need to work on. And getting my confidence level and skills level up. But people, especially the women, probably have seen the stuff coming across Facebook, and it's the We Roam Moto expeditions. I went to their training camp in British Columbia. And that was a whole another story because I got there. I didn't know border crossings closed at a certain time. The smaller ones had to deviate. Ended up losing my light. Um, And I rode my bike out there too, but they had bikes for us too. Cause I was like, I might as well ride out there and make it a trip,
Mhm.
you know. So rode from Detroit to Kiwana, yeah, Kiwana, British Columbia for the training camp. And, you know, I get there, I lost flight. They were calling and checking in on me. And they kept on saying it was a logging road. And I'm like, huh? And I started
Mhm.
Googling logging roads. I was like, this is the devil is a lie. This is not going to work out. I got there, it was pitch black. I think it was animals looking at me. While I was there, I called and I was like, y'all going to have to come get me. I
Mhm.
left my bike down there for 2 days. I didn't even lock it up. I was hoping that someone stole my bike. Because when I saw that road during the day, and it was like, nope, after a day or two in the dirt, you'll feel confident enough to get your bike up here. And I was like, no, I'm still not confident. And then, you know, because of liability issues, no one wanted to kind of ride it up there for me. And I was like, I'm not one of those type of Harley people. You can have
Mhm.
it if you want. Really was not comfortable riding that bike up,
Right.
but I did it. I knew to keep it in first. It was like, oh, I was like, it's a Harley. It got torque. It's gonna get me.
Mm.
Then, you know, I saw the tail of a moose that had crossed in front of me. I was like, this is so stupid. But you don't have no time to panic or anything.
Right.
Got it up there, did more, and our trainers were awesome. Like, and when people say a group of women can't sing, maybe I lucked up with the women that were in my group, but we all synced up. They even separated us into different skill levels, and nobody was upset. We were just kind of upset that we weren't still together. Somehow I got into the higher skill level, and I was like, no. But they showed me how to mount a bike that was taller than me, how to properly get on it, how to position myself when I stop it. We did trail rides, going up hills, dirt, some of the stuff. And then I was never pushed beyond my comfort zone, because our last final was like putting together our route with GPS coordinates that were given. And we chose who was our leader. Of course, I was like medic on our thing. And it was kind of cool because the person that showed up, that was one of our ghost riders, was Wendy Crockett. You know, she's like a Iron Butt legend type person.
Mhm.
Um,
She won the Iron Butt Rally.
Yep.
Yep.
So she was our ghostwriter there. Although I did not continue all the way because we got to a point where I was like, I know I'm not doing this because it wasn't rocks. It was like mini boulder rocks. And in my head, only thing I'm seeing is that's a compound tip rib fracture if I go down because I don't have the grace of being able to put my feet down, like with people on their legs. It's all bike and cord with me. So, you know, even going down that hill, like we're up the hill and we're all on comms. So our instructors are talking to us like the whole time.
Okay.
We're all cheering each other on. It was good vibes, looking out for each other. Put it like this, to the point where the crew that went to the airport afterwards, and it was a group of us that had mostly drove, and it was a sister from out west, Chloe. She rode, and she got one of those like little dual sport bikes, and she rode up there. So the group of the right, I felt I like that we synced up so well that went to a whole nother border to go have breakfast with them. Osoyos. And before I even left, I got a pep talk from, my instructor, and she was like, "You're going to be fine going down, getting your bike down there." And then Wendy let me know, "Hey, that's a scenic route. That's one of the routes that like bucket list routes that people ride out here." So it was very scenic. We rode. Chloe was in front of me, and then I had my sisters behind me, Tara, Star, Janice, who else was with us, and Hillary. They were behind me, so I had support the whole time getting down that. And then I don't even know. It took us a minute. I don't know if that ride was about an hour and a half, 2 hours plus to get to where we linked up to have breakfast. So that just taking that course added another confidence booster to my riding. Because there was one exercise that I did not want to do because I didn't feel comfortable. It's like when you take the bike, mind you, my legs are short, where you're leaning the bike and you're basically throttling it out, like spinning like a stunt on a dirt bike and getting it up. I was like, I'm not doing this. And something happened at Rise to Eat going back to the hotel where I don't know what happened, but I ended up having to do that on my bike. And I did not go down. So, and one of my sisters that rode back with me, King, she was like, "What type of stunt were you trying to do?" I was like, "That wasn't a stunt. I was trying not to fall over." And especially in front of you. People, it's like, so it was definitely a confidence booster, and they never pushed me beyond my limits. But they wanted you to challenge yourself, and they gave us, like, you don't get a lot of feedback when you're out on the road and going to stuff about your riding. They gave us like the report card, and my report card skill level isn't there because I even told them I can do some of this stuff, but I'm not having fun at the moment. I'm not feeling comfortable. Can I do it? And then that's when I actually had got off the bike at a time because I was like, I feel like I'm survival riding. This isn't fun for me. And they were nobody clowned me for that. They were very respectable. And, my final assessment, was they want me, if I go on an expedition, they want to make sure I'm having fun.
Okay.
If I go on an expedition with them, which I thought that was cool. They said, we want to make sure that you have fun. So, I was bumped down a couple of tiers because of that, but and I need to work on my confidence level. So it's like I'm there, but the confidence level, and if I come out, they don't want me stressing. They want me to actually be and have fun with the group. So I thought that was cool. So
okay. Hey, DJ Effects had posted a question before he got off. What is it about riding do you love?
Yeah, it's like you go into another place. Like anything that you got going on, like I said, I see a lot of bad stuff at work, or it could be something going on. And shoot, it's been a couple of breakups that I got on that bike and was like, bye, across the country. It's a way to decompress because you're focusing on like your ride, the pretty stuff going around, like the scenery and stuff, that you don't have time to think about the negativity. You like in a straight, like, happy zone of adrenaline. It's like all smile. Even on my rides where I've been frustrated and crying and stuff, I still was enjoying it. I never said I hate this bike or I hate this ride. It was more so like, I guess would have been maybe trying to compare myself to others possibly, but just being frustrated, But I never said I don't want to be out here. I don't want to get up the next morning and keep going and stuff. It's just awesome. Like you get to see parts of the country that some people might not ever see. And when I post stuff, as I said, I'm gonna get back to posting. When I'm posting stuff on social media, it's not for people in the motorcycle community. It's not for those people. It's for my friends in Detroit that might never leave the city or the state.
Right.
They can see it. Or some of my family that might not ever, or people that know me that might not ever see nothing like this. Like it looks like stuff. Sometimes you're out there and it's like this doesn't even look real. This looks like a picture.
Right.
You only see this stuff in the movies or CGI, and I get to see it. So I'm going to share it with my people that might not ever see this, because there's some people that never leave their state. There's some people that don't leave their city or even go to the next city over. So I'm going to share this with my people in Detroit and my people in Michigan, whoever might want to see it, be like, you might not get there, but this is what's out there.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. I've always said that people say, Solo, man, I live vicariously through you, man, and your travels and your journeys, and I look forward to in the office moments and a solo moment, man. That's what it's all about to me, man. And that's why I've always really just stuck to pictures, because the pictures are worth 1,000 words. You could look at any rider could look at that picture and say, I can relate to the distance of the highway, the mountains in the background, the smile on her face, the way the helmet is sitting on her head, even just feeling the baklava on up under there. I can relate to it, and it'll take me back to a moment that maybe I can remember from some of my journeys. But hey, Doc, I know you got one.
I already got one, man. Hey, let's go back, Stormy. So, what does no shade, no tea mean?
I really don't know, because that's just something I grew up saying. Because there's, I'm kind of would be deemed square or nerd. I'm Gen X growing up in Detroit, so I've always spoke proper, been accelerated, been in the gifted programs and stuff like that. So the community that kind of adopted me in, was actually, I call it the Rainbow Mafia. Like a lot of like the gay dudes or whatnot, homosexual, like friends, they kind of adopted me in as a little sister. And, I don't know if y'all know that, if y'all seen that show Pose, where there's houses and they walk balls and stuff. If you've ever heard of that show, my name would be Strike Bugari from the House of Bugari, which originated in Detroit. And I walked balls when, like, our house, they incorporated, it was everybody, just a group of misfits, straight, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And we were all like high school and about to be college kids and walking balls and taking trophies. And I walked a couple of categories like Body Beautiful and all that stuff. So that was certain things that community would say with no shade, no tea. When you about to say something where it's about to speak facts, it's just it's a truthful fact that might hurt somebody's feeling. It's true.
So when we talk about, so you do a lot of research. Was it times where you tried to reach out to people, a real person, instead of YouTubing to learn about this riding, and you didn't get no tea, or you got shade?
Yep. Yes.
Speak on that, because
I'm not messy like that. Just come off.
It sometimes, and I've heard it out here in the culture, especially with us female riders. I don't know if it's like that for the guys, but sometimes you can reach out to someone out here on the social media and they might not want to share that information with you, so any experience dealing with that?
Yes.
Okay.
I would prefer to say who I've reached out to, who was helpful.
Okay. Who helped you?
Mama D, because anytime I've seen her, if I've asked questions, she's taken the time. And, there's people I felt comfortable with, asking questions. And like Piper, yeah. But more recently, I'm in a riding club, so I do have questions. And if I ask them, I get help.
And see, that's why I ask about your affiliation. Now, you are also, like you say, in a couple other riding groups that not your not an MC, not an SC or a riding group, but just a group of women who are true enthusiasts of motorcycling. And with that, you guys are a support element to each other. And a lot of females are doing rides. They're not at your traditional ride, meaning they're not just going from coast to coast. They're doing a lot of in between. There are a lot of toured, guided rides, international rides. So with that, you're in a different community. So once you open up that circle, that's where you start getting that information. That's where you start getting that positive response back. And here's another thing I just want to say. Everybody out there riding is not riding the same ride. And what I mean by that is that people sit there and say, well, okay, my greatest challenge is that I want to do the I-10 to the end. I want to do that. I can feel safe doing it. I know Sarge is putting on a great ride. I got support here, 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 and here. If I break down, I can pick up the phone. People are comfortable with that. Some people sit there and say, I don't want no support. I just want to go out into the wilderness, experience it all on my own, come back dirty, beat up. I have cried. I've been mosquito bitten. I've taken a foot bath in a running river. Everybody ride isn't the same. So that's what I say, broaden your circle, Get out, meet other people, and don't always rely on the same people because their ride may not be your ride.
Mhm.
That's real.
And so you, Stormy, well established. You are a well established rider, and then already out here maneuvering independently. You know, out here getting miles. Out here, you haven't done any of the SEMAs or Four Corners or anything like that. And you mentioned yesterday in pre-production is because you didn't know about it.
Yeah. Real talk. Certain communities, and I would have to say it would be the more Black motorcycle community, don't venture out to some of these rides. So if you stuck on Facebook and you don't know that certain people or these other rides are out there because that's all on your Facebook feed or certain people you don't know. And I have, far as sisters of other races that have messaged me and reached out to me even, a couple of years ago, hey, have you heard about this ride? Have you heard about that ride? I'm like, no, I didn't know this exists. Oh, this sounds cool and amazing. So it seems like certain groups of people are in a stagnant pool as opposed to a flowing river.
Whoa.
Man,
What?
whoa, wait a minute, Doc. Wait a minute, Doc. Hold on, Doc. Hold on. Hey, producer.
No shade, no tea.
Producer, can we get something over here, producer? Let's get one over. Man, hold on, man. Hold on. Hold on, man.
KO.
Oh my goodness, man. We're not gonna get into that, man. We're not gonna get into that. Look at our bald head that said finger snapping.
And I like flowing rivers because only parasites and bottom dwellers stick in stagnant ponds. Flowing rivers attracts wildlife and new life and etches roads and landscapes. So that's what I want.
Oh my goodness, man. I told y'all, didn't I tell you folks? Didn't I tell you it's gonna be a great episode tonight? Full of information, full of knowledge. And without a doubt, man, we're sitting here with a Titan right now. There's no doubt in my mind. This is a Titan. And this is, like I say, you are one of those unsung riders out there that don't put your ride on social media every time that you go riding. You don't sit there and wait for likes. You don't sit there and wait for how many people viewed it because it's your ride. This has been your ride. This whole thing that you shared. It's awesome. I appreciate you taking the time to come on and give it to us like this. And it's been raw and uncut. And Doc Remy, she want to take a little bit deeper and a little bit rawer. Doc, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go, Doc.
Give me green light. Give me green light.
You want the green light?
Hey.
Oh my God, man. Let me get out of there, man. Let me get out of there.
With that soundboard.
I know, man. Ooh-wee.
No. So Stormy, you said some real deep stuff last night where, we talk about people will be like, oh yeah, I did the 48 stage, yeah, I went to Alaska, but all you did was step foot into Alaska, took a picture, and then you dip back out. Or you say you did the 48 states, but you ain't never even really been to the Upper Peninsula of Michigan before.
Yeah, when people say they do the 48 or 50, I'm from Michigan. My state has two parts. So to me, most people did 49 and a half, because if you haven't crossed the Mighty Mac and been to the UP, because it's absolutely stunning and beautiful, you're kind of missing out.
Tell them about it. Tell them about it so they'll know. Tell them about it so that they will.
Because I work up there, like just the coastline, and technically with I haven't been there personally, but I want to go there, the Porcupine Mountains. That's because I can make my state with my hands. So this would be the Upper Peninsula. This is the Lower Peninsula. So you cross the bridge, and they're saying by those mountain chains might be older than the Appalachian Mountains. It's just over time stuff goes down. So just the scenery, we have wildlife. I work up there, so it's cougars. It's just a beautiful scenic route along the coast of Michigan. Then, depending on how far you want to go up, there's Lake Superior. If you want to stay on the west side, you got Lake Huron. My whole state, Upper and Lower Peninsula, is beautiful. But once again, Michigan has two parts to it. And you can't forget, you can't forget about the UP where the Upers are. And it's all type, it's beautiful. You're missing out.
Good deal. Good deal. Man.
The Upers? Did you say the
Upers.
what?
What? Upers.
Upers.
That's a Michigan thing. I'm Michigan girl, born and raised. So people in the Upper Peninsula are Upers. Yooper. And they call us trolls sometimes because we under the bridge. And that's a whole different breed of Michigander up in the UP. So
Upers.
Yep, Upers.
And the Uper zone. Uper. Give us that Up call. Oh my goodness, man.
Stormy, you ever did any camping? Pitched your tent on your motorcycle while you was out rolling around?
No, I haven't yet. I bought all the stuff that I think I need probably about 2 years ago. That's certain. I haven't built up the confidence enough to kind of jump out and do it. I was supposed to go to the WEMA rally in Maine, the Women's International Motorcycle Association that I'm a member of. And I did the opt to camp, but I had a lot of issues with getting back from British Columbia with bike issues. I had a service on the road. I actually had my bike packed up, learned how to pack my tent, all that ready to go. And then it didn't feel right. I ended up unpacking that bike and I was like, I need to get this. I didn't trust the service I had on the road. So I missed out on my first time camping. I even got like a little fold down stove that you put wood in it because I kept everything small because my bike is small.
Yeah.
So I have stuff, at least the stuff that I think is appropriate to do camping, but I haven't did it yet.
No, I didn't take her out of tents and twos. Nasty. I didn't take her out of tents and twos, man. She's still good. In pre-production, she said she had the material, man, the camping gear and everything. So she's still family, man.
Yeah, I have everything. I have a tent, I have my sleeping bag, I have my little stove.
And you do know you can get a tour pack for your bike, and you could put a rack on that tour pack, and that will give you a lot more space. It may change the dynamics of your bike, the handling of it. It may make it a little bit more top heavy. But if you say, but do you have like a sissy bar or something like that on the back of your bike?
No, I have like a luggage rack because that picture there is, I feel like the more space you have, the more unnecessary stuff you're going to carry. So I'm learning to pack more and less and less.
Efficient packing. That's where you learn efficient packing. That's where you know exactly what you need, where it's located at, and you can operate in the dark. It's something that they taught us in the military. You need to know where everything is in your rucksack and your pack. That way you don't have to fumble with it. So it's efficient packing. It's amazing. The cot is small. The sleeping bag, I call it a fart sack, is small. All of your gear, even little furnaces and sternos, like stuff like that if you want to cook, you can carry a seat on it. So really those 4 items right there, that's pretty much all that you really need when you want to go camping.
Well, that's something I have to learn now.
Oh, there you go. Efficient packing. Oh, we can just keep going on and on and on with this one because we still got a lot of more questions that we talked about that we touched on in pre-production, Doc.
I know because I wanted to. How do you prepare for these rides? You work out, you exercise. I see you got some biceps. I be in the gym too, Stormy. So give us some tips and pointers on how you stay in shape. And how old are you, Stormy?
And healthy living.
46. Be 47 in February. Really, I don't go to the gym. You can do a lot of healthy, physical stuff, just daily stuff around the house. Like I'm outdoors a lot, like in my garden. People don't realize motorcycling is actual physical sport. Like your body is burning calories when you're on the bike, but people put in more calories than they're burning when they're on the road. So if you kind of do like a calorie deficit when you're on the road. Some people will actually see results at the end of the season when
Wow.
they're riding. I usually start a specific tailored workout to riding maybe like 2 months before I know I'm about to get out.
Yeah.
One thing is working on your muscle groups. Like when I'm not sore after rides, even if I'm on the road forever, I'm not sore because I work on certain muscle groups. So you need a strong core. That doesn't mean that you have to have abs and stuff. You need a strong core because your core supports your back.
Mhm.
I do more of statics with weights, so I'll be in a seating position, like I got a gaming chair. So if I'm watching a movie or something, I got like the little cycle things, pedal things on the floor. I take my weights out, and they're basically at the distance of my handlebars, and maybe 10 or 15 pound weights, and I'm doing like statics, like holding it out. That so you're fatiguing your muscles. So by season comes, your muscles aren't fatigued while on the road. Wrist curls, forearm curls, back strength, and then I'm getting better, as far as with leg strength too. And then if you have more lean muscle, your metabolism is higher and you're gonna burn calories higher, better. I eat pretty clean anyway, but before a trip, I eat cleaner. Probably except for like energy drinks, because sometimes I gotta survive on them. It's mostly like fruits, vegetables, smoothies. When I say vegan, if I have a craving for meat, I will eat it. I'm not vegan because of animals or anything. My body just over time stopped processing stuff. The one meat that I can tolerate, that I will, if I have an appetite for it before a trip, because I feel like I need that extra protein. I'll get like some lamb chops or something, or grill, or ask like my mom or somebody to prepare it. So I got like a pre-ride meal, like when I played sports, like a pre-game meal. It's simple. It'll be like squash, zucchini, something like a lamb chop, and
because,
like a fruit and vegetable smoothie or something with protein mix.
because I was definitely going to ask. I think key is maintaining a high protein diet, clean protein. Try to consume as much protein as you can, because your muscles are working. You're going to lose muscle mass if your body go into starvation mode. That's the first thing that is going to start consuming, trying to survive. So that's very important. Protein bars, protein drinks, whatever you can tolerate. They even make like protein packs now that you can take with you. Try to
Yeah.
consume as much protein as you can.
Yeah.
I've been time where I've lost 10 or 15 pounds in the dead of summer due to the heat, due to water loss coming back. I mean, like what happened?
Mhm.
That is definitely a workout when you're working.
Mm.
Woo, man. Well, listen, Doc, man, we you know what we're getting close to now, right?
Yeah,
You know that band. I only pay for so much bandwidth.
I know that.
Yeah.
I
And
only
if
pay for so much
anybody
bandwidth, man.
wants medical stuff, I'm starting to put together. I have my own med kit that I put together to ride with my club sisters with. So, and I realize
Shout it
people
out. Shout it out. Let us
have
know.
these
We're
med
saying we get
kits,
it.
but really, do y'all really know how to use what's in it?
What's
Like,
it?
you really, yeah. I got a lot of stuff. I got burn stuff, and people always talk about the bleed stop, but do you really know how to use it? And are people aware that there's bleed stop for people that are on blood thinners,
Bleed stop. Yeah.
like quick clot?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like stuff like this. A lot
Uh-oh.
of people have this, but do
Hold
you
that
know
up.
how to use it? And there's actually ones that are for people that are on like blood thinners. So you might be on Coumadin, Lovenox, Eliquis. People got all types of health issues. There's a lot of older riders. I keep OB want not waste not, but this is for like nosebleeds and stuff like that. These are Remy get it. Benadryl spray, tourniquet. I keep a scalpel, splint, a lot of burn dressings just in case people. I'm adding more and more as it go. Mine's is kind of set up for worst case scenario. Like I had nasal trumpets. Like if somebody is unconscious, I need to do certain things. because my scope of knowledge is a little higher.
Well, look, Doc, we're gonna have to bring you on just for a medical episode, walking through the scenario of a roadside accident or something like that we can kind of educate people on as well. So we're gonna definitely have you back on the show. We've been answering Q&A. I think Nasty just dropped one. NPR.
Oh, Narcan. I never thought about
Narcan.
I need that. I hope I'm not somewhere where I got a Narcan someone, but
you get shit.
Seriously.
Yeah, you just never know. Man, you pull up to a gas station at some places. Whew,
Yeah.
I've been to some sketchy gas station where people been sleep laying down there by the pump. I'm like, shit.
So how do we get one of your bags and how much is it?
Oh, I'm not charging nobody. I would just tell people what to put in, like especially if they got certain medical issues, or like if they're in the club and their people actually divulge that information to them, just this is what you should have. And, I feel like, like with Ride to Eat, I was ready when they was like the mad people to the back or something. I was like, yes, time to shine. Cause I had this with me on my bike.
Okay.
But like if somebody wants to know how to really use stuff in it, or what is the actual necessary, and a lot depends on how long you're gonna be on the road too, or where you're going, things like that.
Yeah, you might need some of that Narcan for them lot lizards you learned about.
Hey, Doc,
I was so confused because I thought it was a lizard in a lot, yo.
Oh my God, man. Who in the world put you out there like that? Who put you out there like that, man? Not the lock lizard.
But hey, Stormy, so your next goal, my final thought on you before I close my questions out, is that one of your goals is to go to Alaska, but like I said, you said you want to go all the way up. You in case
or Anchorage or something.
Fairbanks, Toke, all of that. Even if you decide to go up to the Arctic Circle, which is on the Dalton, but you still can go up to the Arctic Circle and come back down. You don't have to go all the way up to Dead Horse. And that's what I tell everybody. Don't just go to Hyder, Alaska. Don't just stick your toe in it. Go up and experience Anchorage. Go up and experience Fairbanks. Go up and experience all these other beautiful cities up there, and then the surrounding, the glaciers.
Right, that's why to see the animals and the pretty stuff that's up there. Like,
let me just warn you right now: if you see a grizzly bear, it's too late.
I already know.
If you see a grizzly bear and you're not moving away from it, it's too late.
It might not even want me. Like, she don't got enough meat on her. Just bump her out the way. It just probably smack me and
come over and sniff you.
Can you take a weapon up to Alaska?
You can't get through Canada.
You can't get through Canada.
The only way you would be able to do it is, one, you can write ahead, depending on your background and who you are. You can write ahead. It can't be something, because their gun laws are different. Or either you can leave it. You do have to do it ahead, like at a lockbox that they have for it, but you have to cross the same border crossing.
Right, and that's what Sharif and I had to do when we went up to Bolton. When we crossed over into Alaska, we went to the nearest police, sheriff department. They signed it in, they inventory it, check the serial number, make sure that it's not stolen or anything like that. Then they'll give you some type of token or receipt for it. But that's the thing about it. When you come back, you have to cross back over to get it, or you're going to have to make plans to sit there and say, well, okay, if I'm going to cross over on the eastern side and I'm going to come out on the western side, now I got to go all the way back to the eastern side to get my weapon. But you can do it. You can do it if you want to, especially if you're going to go up to Nova Scotia. You can do it right there in the Holton, right off of 95. Well, listen, it's been a great episode. I knew it would be. Doc, thank you very much for reaching out to Doc, aka Stormy, tomorrow, and getting her on. And man,
hey,
any final words, Stormy?
No, I feel people should be able to ask questions of other writers, especially if you're putting yourself out here on social media. You shouldn't blow people off, and share your real journey, because people will learn from others' mistakes. So it should be the full ride, not just the pretty parts and the good parts, because really you get people out here and they might hurt themselves out here because they're thinking they can do what you do. So just actually share the full journey.
Okay.
The good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. And I hope one of the person that you reached out to wasn't me, that I didn't get back to because
no,
it's start piling down, man. It started piling down. I'm still going back looking at that message like, oh shit, I'm sorry, I didn't respond back to you.
Yeah.
Good deal. But we want to thank you for coming on, sharing your journey, your epic adventures. I definitely enjoy hearing about Pakistan, that incredible journey going over there, riding, your experience riding a dirt bike, learning how to ride a dirt bike, which is awesome. Each one, teach one. The ladies, the organizations that you've been affiliated with, that you've ridden with, like I say, Thundercat, Mama D, all of the women that have inspired you, and you are doing the exact same thing. Juanita Shaw, aka, is in the house tonight. Excellent show, but that's what I'm talking about.
That's right.
Thanks for having me.
It's been our pleasure.
You keep on being spunky and vibrant and amazing. You inspire me. And so let's continue to keep linking up the way we do on the road and sitting down, having our chit chats the way we have our chit chats, girl. And I am saluting you. And I appreciate you. Thank you for being
here. And thank you, Queso.
Oh, definitely. Like I said, you're family now. You're RTE family. So you may have my number, but you can hit me on the inbox, man. Anytime.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
All right. You take care.
Thanks.
Doc. Out the building. The Richter scale is going on. Yeah. Hey, we got to hey man, I'm telling you right now, folks, we are trying to get better and better with this podcast, the people that we bring on sharing their journeys. Everybody that's been on this podcast, man, this is for everybody that's been on the Riding with K Solo podcast. This big old round of applause is for you. It's for you, because you are what makes this show, man. This show is not about me. It's not about Doc Remy. It's about the people that we bring on who share their journeys, who try to inspire others through their rides, through their journeys. And it's definitely each one. Teach one, aspire to inspire, man, because like I say, we are all legendary. Would you agree, Doc?
I sure would. When I'm pumping in the gym, getting in, I'm thinking, I'm legendary. I'm legend.
What? Look at that, man. Who is that? Come on now.
Yeah, that's me out there, boy. That's me when I was out there, that Four Corners, out there by myself.
Ooh, I love it, Doc. I love it, man.
Yeah, I jumped out there, man. I had Reef helping me out a little bit. I had my pit crew helping me out, man. It was amazing.
There you go, man. There you go.
I'm about to do it again. Next year in June. I already put the cat out the bag. Me and Doc get ready to go.
That's right. We already put the cat out of the bag, man. And we're definitely going to be following you. Shit, man. I'm probably going to be on the road the same time you. I'm going to be out there again next year, man. I got the green light. I'm at amber now. It's like a race car driver, man. It's from red to amber. It's going to green, man. The doctor about to release me. So I'm definitely looking forward to getting back out there on the highway. Hey, we just got a new member. We want to thank Handsome Dave, FXR, man. Thank you, Handsome Dave, for becoming a member of the podcast, man. Thank you very much. That's for you, Handsome Dave. Ooh-wee, man. This is all right, Doc. This is all right. This is all right. Nurse Tiffany, what's Nurse Tiffany? Inspiring journey. Keep going. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Who we have here? I'm not a biker, but I enjoy watching you guys. Great show. Thank you very much, Nisha. Ain't got my glasses on. But can you see it, Doc? I can't see.
Yeah, Nisha, you're right. Yeah.
All right. I can't
Nisha
see.
Sizemore, thank you for watching. We appreciate you.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed, Doc. So, Doc, how things going on your side before we get ready to wrap it up?
Hey, I'm moving and grooving, stepping and shaking.
Okay.
That's all I got.
Okay.
It's so much admin and paperwork on that journey to getting the credentials and licensing that you need, and business components and everything, and being organized, and budgets and fire marshals and environmental, and and so I'm just trudging along. So that's all I got.
Keep trudging along, man. That's what it's all about, Doc. You won't believe how things are gonna go for you, man. Like I say, just keep moving forward, keep staying positive. We're gonna get through it. We're gonna get to the other side. I said it in one of my inspirational moments. You go through adversities, come out stronger on the other side.
That's right.
That's right. So listen, Doc, we're gonna get ready to shut this thing down. You be safe out there. I'm back in the gym now. Like I said, I got the amber light. I'm lightly in the gym, working out a little bit. Health is looking good. And like I said, we're gonna be doing some volunteer work. I'm also working with Mr. Dennis Joyner on something that we're getting ready to bring out. We got some more sponsors gonna be coming in, sponsoring episodes. So we're definitely gonna be sitting, shouting them out as we get the episode started. And I want to thank everybody for just supporting this podcast, man. We couldn't do this without you. Really, we couldn't, because hey, you are who makes this podcast what it is. Well, all right, Doc. Producers giving me the nod, telling me that, man, hey, my bandwidth is up. I didn't pay enough, and we got to get ready to get up out of here. So listen, Doc, you take care. You have a good night. And you know what my saying is, aspire to inspire. And if you do that, you'll definitely be legendary. All right, we out.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.